Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Well, hi, Kat. How are you? Same drill. We're going to wait a little.
Prices. Wow, women is free. We did it, ladies. Box office attendants said that the display between Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Balls. I'm not sure if you know this or if this is just something you think you married, but either way, I'm noted. Wow, it's beautiful. I'm not sure why everyone was mad about Phoebe Hardy being at an adult theater. This place is classy. By the way, thinking of proposing, well, consider the Tiki Theater rooftop. And on top of
Oh my gosh, so funny. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Did you have one, Nikki? Hi, Conscious. Basically, I have to wait a little for people to get the notifications and get here. And I'm kind of sporadic with these right now, simply because it's like the only way I make a living, but I can't make a living like this right now. So, yeah. I mean, they're not false, they're just projected. They're not false, they're just projected. Yeah, it's, that's a good quote. If you want to read the best, cleanest, sort of, or one of the cleanest, sort of accounts of the afterlife, read um, Plato's The Republic. See, I bet no one's read that or knows to read it. There's a lot in there. But that's what I'm talking about in my interviews and things. It's evil entities. I mean, I talk about that too. Yeah, see? I bet you know who Elizabeth April is though. Yeah. But you never read this either. 33 Magics from Abe no Seime. No, there's no translation of this. I'm actually going to start working on one as soon as I finish the practice book I'm working on, and also getting the Shores of Eternity online. I'm just making sure the formatting's correct. I should probably go through it one more time too, just in case some periods or anything like that were accidentally deleted. Um, yeah, it's kind of where we're at. But anyway, you could find Plato's The Republic online for free somewhere. It was written like over 2,000 years ago. So I think it's fair to say that it's public domain. Of course, unless you want to read a notarized and not a notarized. Um, what are those editions where scholars um, comment on different things? I might do that. Annotated edition that kind of explains what everything is a little bit more and what Plato means. Yeah, it's 457 pages. There's a lot there. No, no, that's a little safer. It's the in between. It's the luminal states that can make things where things can be a little bit complicated. So you could a lot of things could happen. You can get trapped, but that usually happens when you do a bunch of ritual stuff that you don't understand, and it could happen when yeah, basically that. So you'll be fine. Or when we take a lot of hallucinogens during our lifetime, that's another way to do it. So don't worry about that so much. No, you're fine, Nikki. When I say when I say ritual, I mean something completely different. I should probably read. Gosh, I don't have any grimoires here. I should probably read some of it for people so they know what it is. So no, you're fine. That's not. Yeah. And maybe John will explain the type of ritual I mean um, in the chat. As long as you're not doing that stuff, you're fine. The second death video is in my um, yeah, don't do those because they fragment the soul. And if the soul is not in completely, uh, it could, so let me put this, soul can withstand a lot, but if you push it all the way to its edge with things like drugs, mostly hallucinogenic drugs, not even like some of the harder stuff where people overdose on. It could fragment it to a place where when your container, which is your body, um, goes through the process of death, um, it will um, pull itself apart because the construction, the apparatus will falter. So if you don't do, and you have to do a lot of them too. So you have to do a lot of them. The exactly, you can fracture. You don't want to do that. So yeah, that it won't quite do the same. It does other stuff, especially meth. If you're gone, eventually, like something can definitely take over. So, other getting high from other things can make you susceptible to different attachments. Like I'm at a place now where, especially the last few weeks, um, I'm completely free of some really bad habits that I've had. So I'm always working too. Um, yeah, so it's great. Like I stopped um, biting my fingernails. I didn't do it that much, but I completely stopped. Um, I've stopped um, staying up all night. My schedule is like on par now. I go to sleep and like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of stuff. Some quite embarrassing that I rather not talk about. But it's these things are not part of the um, the the real human condition or the original state of the human condition or what it's supposed to be. Drinking, I mean, they're called spirits for a reason. As long as you don't like get passed out drunk, you're fine. But you could have like a drink. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, I mean, it's good for your stomach, but too much, it's gonna destroy your stomach if that makes sense, and everything else. So, um, I personally, I don't drink anything, but yeah, that's why people at a certain point, when they get drunk, they don't remember anything that they did the night before. They completely black out because they're not there anymore. Something else steps in. was reading the comments for the last interview. John, I posted one. I was on out of body experiences, which was a pretty cool the interview we did. And yeah, so a bunch of the comments were people talking about my ego. And like that's probably the first interview with the type of audience that people have actually said that. Which is kind of interesting. Like none of the other interviews I've ever done have had the audience had that discussion. But you won't be the only one, Nikki. It's something that you can work through. You know, we could work through. I'm here every day, just about. I had to take some breaks, usually because of stuff I have going on. But that's just so I could get stronger at doing this too. But you won't be the only one. Just give it time. Just give it time. And I'm sorry that happened to you. All right, so I think we're going to do 2 today. Because usually when I start, that's when people start showing up. Let me see. And let's see, let's give it 2 minutes. We'll start, guys. So basically for this, you're going to lie down and relax. Let the energy work. Did I? And if it makes you feel better, Nikki, I've been going through this whole identity crisis type thing. So I deal with stuff too. It's just, you just have to look at it this way. Like there's always going to be something. It's a matter of being able to handle it with balance and grace and not panicking over it, which is completely doable. Thank you, Signadius, IG, Natius. I'm just going to call you IG from now on. But thank you. I appreciate it. I was just talking about the comments section for that. It's pretty interesting. Did you do the healing I did in that video? We're going to do one live. I usually do them every day here. Cool. And what'd you get out of it? We're going to start pretty soon, so you're right on time. And be sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. Subscribe and share it with your friends. If you would like a one-on-one session, I do those. I don't charge that much. I made a video about that because people charge thousands of dollars for like nothing. Yeah, it's just like me, myself, like Charlie, Goldsmith. We don't like. It's just not. It's like I couldn't just like look at someone in pain and say, you know, I'm not going to work on you because you don't have like $1,000 or even 100 or 50. It's like, you know, I can't do that because one, it's horrible, and I think a lot of the people who do that can't really help anyone anyway. So they find that they kind of figure, Well, if I charge a lot, people are going to think it's the best thing. And because they think it's the best thing, if they see somebody, maybe doing it for nothing or very little, they will think it's not legitimate. But, I do this every single day. So, and this builds up over time. It gets stronger and stronger, and after as we remove the physical stuff, it starts clearing the spiritual bodies. Do you guys have any questions before we start about this? Because I know I didn't answer much of this in the interview, but I can do it now, especially since some people are coming in from that interview. I want to answer some of your questions. If that's okay, guys, just bear with me. We will do the healing and it will be worth it. And I think it's stronger live. I don't know. Does it matter anymore, John? And this is built up over time. Hi, Candace. How are you? It's cold in here. No questions, guys? So please subscribe to this channel, like this video. Don't get scared. So, I want to say people have this misconception of what I'm saying. Um, does it coming from a place of fear? But that's like saying to a doctor who's warning people about a poison the same thing. It's not about that. It's about discernment and um, expanding your perception. Thank you, Nikki. Oh, you do it yourself too, John, and you do a lot. Thank. All right. I think once you strut um, your energetic structure starts strengthening, it connects to the energies easier over time too. So anyway, since no one has any questions, are you guys ready? You guys ready for the healing? Okay, so what you're going to do is try to relax and lie down. That's the best way for this. This can be a meditation, but it's not quite a meditation. It's like relaxing the body the best you can is the best thing for this. Like the medications, I discussed that in my book. It's different. That's like your self practice. This is a little different. It's trying to open up the subtle channels so you can connect to yourself better. That's all it is. Yeah, here we go. Amaterasu mi oyano kami no misu 命照らし国静かなりアマテラスミ親の神のミスマルの命照らし国静かなりアマテラスミ親の神のミスマルの命照らし国静かなり高天張にかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すみみ、おやかむ、いざなぎの神つくしのひむくの立ちぱねのおどの青ぎがはらに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときに、あれませる。はらいどのお神たち、もろもろのまがごとつみかえりよ。払いたまい清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。天つ神、国つ神、やお、よりずの神たちともに引っ越しますと。かしこみかしこみも申す。高天張りにかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして。すみみおやかむ、いざなぎの神つくしのひまかの立ちばねのおどのあぎがはるにみそぎはらいたまいしときにあれませる。はらいどのお神たちもろもろのまがごとつみかえりよ。はらいたまい清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。天つ神、国つ神、やお、夜ぞの神たちともに引っ越しますと、かしこみかしこみも申す。高天張りにかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すみみおやかむ、いざなぎの神つくしのひまくの立ちばなのおどのあおぎがはるに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときに、あれませる。はらいどのお神たち、もろもろのまがごとつみかえりよ。はらいたまい、清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。天つ神、国つ神、やお、夜ずの神たちともに引っ越しますと、かしこみかしこみも申す。どうその神、あまてらします。すめみ神の身胸を伝えて教え導きのたまわく。人はすなわち神と神とのもとの主だり。何時らの紳士の痛ましむることなかれ。この芸に目にもろもろの風情を見て、心にもろもろの風情を見ず、耳にもろもろの風情を聞いて、心にもろもろの風情を聞かず、口にもろもろの風情を言って、心にもろもろの風情を言わず、身にもろもろの風情に触れて、心にもろもろの風情に触れず、心にもろもろの風情を思うとも、中心にもろもろの風情を思わず、この時に清く潔きことあり、 もろもろのノリは影と形のことし。清ければ汚れることなし。ことを取らばうべからず。皆花よりずの実となる。我が身はすなわち六根処女なり。六根処女なるがゆえに。構造の真君兄なり。構造の真君兄なるが。故に天地の神と男なり。天地の神と男なるが。故に万物の霊と体なり。万物の霊と体なるが。故になすところ願って成就せずということなし。無常霊法、真珠仏教、天上無休、名入賞、神奈川列、払いたまい、清めたまい、守りたまい、先はいたまい、照らしたまい、導きたまえ。とかみ、えみたも、看言心、そうにかんだけん、払いたまい、清めたも。Everyone breathe, relax, in and out. Think of your breath as a purifying force. When you inhale, imagine it flowing through your body and pulling the impurities, which you can perceive as black smoke, into its current. And when you exhale, imagine it going out. So inhale in through the nose and out to the mouth. Again. Takame no hara ni kamizu arimasu. Sume kami tachi. Iyawadashita mo. Tokusu no mizu no takara mochite. Amateru kuniteru hike ame no ho akari kushitama. Negi hayahi no mikoto ni. Shizuke tamo koto oshiete no tamawaku. Imashi kono mizu no takara mochite. Nakatsukuni ni ama kudari. Aohito gusa shizume osame yo. Aohito gusa oyobi. Yaruzu no mono no yamai no koto araba. Kamu takara mochite. Mikaraita shizume ni okite. 御霊沈みの祭りをなして水の宝を振るべ。そのカムホギの言葉に曰く、木のい木のと、火のい火のと、土のい土のと、かのいかのと、水のい水のと、ひふみよいむなやこと。二のと古べゆるいら、各祈りせばまかるともさらにきなんとしても。雨の神の実をやみこと乗りかけてみて、雨の岩、船に乗りて、河内の国の川上の怒るがめに天下りましまして、大和の国、引きの山のふもと、 白庭の高庭に移しましまして月祭りたも名付けて磯の神の狼と申し立て祭り。よよ噛む宝を持ちて、夜ずの者のために古べの噛むことを持ちて、つかせなしとゆえの古の見た目の神と敬い立て祭り。すめみことおめらじ驚その神だけきを持ちて、いつきに使い祭りたも、物のべの神の社雨がした。夜ずの者の類なり、いでもと神宝は、いわゆる、おきつ鏡、平つ鏡、やつくの剣、いく玉、たる玉、まかるか石の玉、ちが石の玉、おろちのひれ、八のひれ、くすぐすのもののひれ、さらにとくすの神、木のい木のと、火のい火のと、土のい土のと、かのいかのと、水のい水のと、ひふみよいむなやこと。にのとふるべゆらといら。かしたてまつることのよしをもちて、平らけくきこしめせと、命長く子孫羽、時はかきわに、守りたまい、先はいたまい、かじたてまつり、人数寿命心にきかじ、高間の腹にかむざまります。かむろき、かむろみのみこともして、すめみおやかむ、いずなぎの神つくしのひむくの立ち花のおどのあおぎがはらに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときにあれませる。はらいどのお神たち、もろもろのまがごとつみかえりよ。払いたまい、清めたまいと回すことのよしよ。天津神、国津神、や、夜ずの神たちともに引っ越しますと、かしこみかしこみも回す。高あまはりにかむずまります。かむろき、かむろみのみこともして、すめみおやかむ、いずなぎの神つくしのひまくの立ち花のおどのあぎがはるに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときにありませる。はらいどのお神たち、もろもろのまがことつみかえるよ。払いたまい、清めたまいと回すことのよしよ。天津神、国津神、や夜ずの神たちともに引っ越しますと、かしこみかしこみも回す。かんながらたまちやませ。かんながらたまちやませ。かんながらたまちやませ。All right, everyone. There we have it. How was it? I think we're going to do one more today. If you'd like to do a donation, please do so. That's optional. Links are in the description. It's very much appreciated. And during the healings, it does seem to be reciprocated in a certain way, which you'll have to see for yourself, which is what I'm told. How was it, everyone? Great. Animal. Good, good, good. Well, we're going to do one more. Good. Breathe more deeply. Good. Like I said, it builds up over time. So this isn't a one and done practice. And like I said too, this is like something that you do yourself. I have a book that'll get you started. And this is a supplement to that, not the other way around. I want people to understand that. Consider this an initiation into the current that, as you go, will help strengthen that. So something's supposed to happen. I mean, and what did you experience? Everyone gets something different. Some folks get stuff that they don't even realize. Like IG said, settle, but definitely helped breathing, helped me breathe more deeply. So, Benoit, welcome back. Oh, well, there you go. Spidey was just like, I'm just going to keep trying anyway. I think she just likes the chat, which is why she kept coming back originally. I had one person named Lena that just, didn't feel anything for like 2 months. But because I was like doing so much for the rest of her family, she was like, come and give it a shot. And yeah, it just worked out. I was working on her this morning. She has a structural attachment, so it's harder just to pull out. If don't ask if you have that. If you did, you would know. Trauma takes time, absolutely. I'm gonna do one more. Oh, I got an appointment. Cool. Oh yeah, I do one-on-ones too. Feel free to sign up. I might actually get my account out of the negative. I haven't got my student aid yet. All right. Yep, what Animal said. How are things over there on the Western Front? Animals in Ukraine. Hope it's getting better. Yeah, too much Reiki definitely reverses the purification. It's not the same. The Western Front. It's front FRNT. It's an old book about the First World War. It's a good one. I mean, do you know what Reiki means in Japanese? Like no one who does it seems to. They just make assumptions based on what they hear without knowing the language. But for me, it's very, very clear. But I just want to share. I want to share a message I got from someone. I'm going to leave them anonymous. She's kind of explaining what she can do innately, and I just want to. It gives people an idea. It'll give people an idea of like what real healing actually looks like, or what's supposed to be, even when it's spontaneous. When people can just do it. Um, all right, this was many years ago. Okay. Even if she doesn't really know anything about it, it still checks out because I know it checks out. But hi, my name is da da da. I started listening to your interview. You have a nice presence. So that's nice. I hope this person doesn't mind me reading this, but um, I have discovered that I can work with energy a few years ago with my cats. That's a good sign, right? I found I could see dark, dense, smoky energy within around them, and that I could direct that energy out and away so it can be transformed into love energy. It's not quite, but we're learning. And dispersed amongst the all space. I mean, you're actually supposed to you'll send that to the void, either to the void or to burn it. Um, that's the warmness we feel during these sometimes. It's that being burned away. Um, my cats would always respond well to this. This was many years ago, maybe 6 to 10. I didn't think much of it at the time, but over the years I attempted a few sessions with friends, family. Each person I was able to accurately see where dark, dense, smoky clouds. Mm-hmm. Puff of energy reside, and the person would conform that area correlates with the physical element. They do not tell me anything beforehand, and I know nothing of their physical issues. Well, um, yeah, I've also moved energy for my mom up and down the right side of her body. She is completely free from pain now. Mm-hmm. And her shoulder over 2 times 15-minute sessions. I need to do more sessions, but I am grieving over her kitty. Aw. But anyway, that's what it looks like. It's not just shooting people with source energy. That's like it's not, um, yeah, it sounds nice, but that's not what's happening. And that's not, um, what folklore says is happening. But anyway, um, I try to not attack stuff that other people are doing, or I try to attack it as little as possible without having to say stuff about it sometimes. But yeah. Can I go deeper? That depends on how. Um, let's see. Reiki practice kind of sorcery. Yeah, sort of using power of another being, as I've discovered from different prices. Yep. So yeah, is A Course in Miracles. I don't know that book. Probably not. I'm gonna make a reading list for everyone. A new one. I have one on my. For now, I suggested reading the Republic, so you can start there. Start with the Republic. I mean, I have my own books too. I just waiting for my account to be back up so I can get my book on Ingram. So hopefully maybe bookstores will order it too. Um, but I'm gonna get it on Amazon soon too. I just need to get the cover so it stays on. All right, everyone. I think we're gonna do another one. I can't I can't really speak to Kundalini except to say that this could be very similar in once we clear things along the spine, especially, it opens up a lot of ability. So Kundalini seems to do that. However, it seems to also miss a lot of the more subtle stuff. So I've never done it myself, but I guess it's happened for people. Um, and let me say this too regarding this practice. Um, I want to say that I am a lot older than I look. So let me leave it at that. The impurities run deep. And it's just a matter of pulling them out and understanding what they do to us. Unfortunately, people do judge it by its cover, and um, I have to make a cover. Yes, Kundalini has sent. So, Kundalini, I could tell you this: it doesn't test whether you are ready. It it um, reacts when that space is clear enough for it to move through. So that's why people who aren't necessarily balanced and have achieved it um, um, end up that way. And that's because they start seeing and hearing things that they haven't prepared themselves for. And it could be quite nonstop. So, yeah. Like, for example, so like things don't necessarily happen within different, I guess, structures and disciplines before you're ready. I'm not 70, I'm not quite that old. Um, I have a cover. I just need it sized right. Where was I? You interrupted me. Um, where was I, guys? I was saying, oh yeah, Kundalini. Yeah, so I remember I met someone who spontaneously started hearing voices that she could not stop. And it was open very, very wide. She wasn't on drugs, but she didn't tell me everything. Um, I was at this person's place, and as I was trying to help, um, I saw um, a book called what's it called? It was Buck Lynn's Spirit Communication. So she was practicing it, and because her energetic structure was structurally able to perceive otherworldly voices faster than she was able to become a balanced person. Um, it started happening, and she developed a type of schizophrenia that way. So, but with this, that doesn't happen. The kami are very gentle. We won't have any. We don't have any of that. It's a slow, gradual process, and yeah. All right, guys. Are you guys ready for the next one? I see there's 20 people here. Say hello to the chat. It's good that if I can acknowledge that you're here, it could be helps the connection a little bit, maybe. But it's always nice to say hello, and I do appreciate that. All right, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Turn on notifications. I try to be here every single day. I've had to take a little bit of a hiatus as I'm dealing with some stuff, but that stuff is also to make these stronger, and it is self work. Hi Kutochi. This is a purification. It's we how can I say it? It's Shinto. It's Misogi. It's a rite of purification. It's very relaxing. You can feel stuff being pulled off. It enhances over time ability. It dissipates pain and sickness, and does all kinds of other things. Does anyone want to answer that or add anything to that? Yep. Just lie down, relax for 10 minutes. This isn't quite a meditation. This is actually this comes supplementary to meditation or your own practice, and it's quite powerful. Any questions, guys, before we start on the next one? Norito. Yep, Norito. Misogi. Harai. Tamaishi. So, thank you, Julie, thank you, Julie and Baxley Wolf, for your donations. Very nice. It means a lot. We're going to start on the second one pretty soon. And I might show up in 6 hours again to do another one, just because I haven't been coming to these because of stuff and because I have schoolwork or have had it. Hit the like button and please subscribe. Absolutely. I'm here mostly every day. Are you guys ready? Ready, steady, go. Everyone else ready? Or just John? All right, here you go. Let me get my back straight. Amaterasu mi oya no kami no misu maru no inochi terashi kuni shizukanari amaterasu mi oya no kami no misu maru no inochi terashi kuni shizukanari amaterasu mi oya no kami no misu maru no inochi terashi kuni shizukanari taka amahari ni kamazamarimasu kamarogi kamaromi no mikoto moshite sememi oyakama izanagi no kami tsukushi no himaka no tachibana no odo no awagigahara ni misogi harai tamaishi toki ni are maseru 払いどの狼たち、もろもろの魔がごと積み返りよ。払いたまい清めたまいと回すことのよしよ。天つかみ、国つかみ、やるざの神たちともに引っ越しますと。かしこみかしこみも回す。たかあまはりにかまずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして。すめみおやかむ、いずなぎの神つくしのひまくの立花のおどのあぎがはるに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときにありませる。はらいどの狼たち、もろもろのまがごと積み返りを。払いたまい清めたまいと回すことのよしよ。天つかみ、国つかみ、夜ぞの神たちともに引っ越しますと。かしこみかしこみも回す。どうぞの神、あまていらします。すめみ神の身胸を伝えて教え導きのたまわく。人はすなわち神と神とのもとの主だり。何時らの紳士の痛ましむることなかれ。この家に目にもろもろの風情を見て、心にもろもろの風情を見ず、耳にもろもろの風情を聞きて、心にもろもろの風情を聞かず、口にもろもろの風情を言って、心にもろもろの風情を言わず、身にもろもろの風情に触れて、心にもろもろの風情に触れず、心にもろもろの風情を思とも、中心にもろもろの風情を思わず、この時に清く潔きことあり、もろもろののりは影と形のことし、清く清ければ汚れることなし、ことをとらばえべからず、皆花よりずの身となる。我が身はすなわち六根少女なり、六根少女なるがゆえに、ごぞの神君兄なり、ごぞの神君兄なるが、ゆえに天地の神と男なり、天地の神と男なりが、ゆえに万物の霊と体なり、万物の霊と体なりが、故になすところに固定成就せずということなし、無常霊法、真珠仏教、天上無休、名誉入賞、神奈川列、払いたまい、清めたまい、守りたまい、先はいたまい、照らしたまい、導きたまえ。Alright, everyone, inhale. And exhale. And when you inhale through your nose, you're going to imagine the oxygen or your breath moving throughout your body and picking up in its current black smoke, which represents impurity. And when you exhale, you see it or imagine it releasing in that same way in the current of your breath and dissipating away. Again, inhale. Exhale. Now, 2 big deep breaths on your own. Takame no hara ni kamazumarimasu. Seme kami tachi. Iyoarashita mo. Tokusu no mizu no takara mochite. アマテルクニテルヒケアミノホアカリキシタマネギハヤヒのミコトに静けたもこと教えてのたもわく今しこの水の宝持ちて中つくりに雨下りあう人ぐさ沈め収めよあう人ぐさおよびよりずのものの病のことあらばかむ宝を持ちて、暗いた沈みに起きて、御霊沈みの祭りをなして水の宝を振るべ、その噛むほぎの言葉に曰く、木のい木のと、火のい火のと、土のい土のと、かのいかのと、水のい水のと、ひふみよいむなやことにのとふるべゆれいらかくいなりせばまかるともさらにきなんとしても雨の神のみをやみことのりかけとめて雨の岩船に乗りて河内の国の川上の光る画面に天下りましまして大和の国、引きの山のふもと、白庭の高庭に移しましまして、いつき祭りとも、名付けて、イスの神の大神と申し立て祭り、よよかむ宝を持ちて、よりずの者のために、古べのかむごと持ちて、つかせなしたゆえの古の見た目の神と、敬い、立て祭り、すめみこと、おもらじ、おどろその神たききを持ちて、いつきに使い祭りとも、もののべの神のやしろ、雨がした、よりずのもののたごいなり、いてんもとかむ宝は、いわゆる、おきつ鏡、へいつ鏡、やつぐの剣、いく玉、たる玉、まかるが石の玉、ちが石の玉、おろちのひれ、はちのひれ、くすぐすのもののひれ、さらにとくすの神、木のい木のと、火のい火のと、土のい土のと、かのいかのと、水のい水のと、ひふみよいむなやこと。にのとふるべいらといら、かしたてまつることのよしをもちて、平らきくきこしめせと、命長く、子孫羽、時はかきわに、守りたまい、先はいたまい、かじたてまつり、人数寿命心力かじ。高めの腹にかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すめみおやかむ、いずなぎのかみつくしのひまくの立ち花のおどのあぎがはらに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときにありませる。はらいどのおかみたち、もろもろのまがごとつみかいりょう。はらいたばいきをめたばいとばすことのよしよ。あまつかみ、くにつかみ、やよるずの神たちともにひこしめせと、かしこみもまおす。たがあまはりにかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すめみおやかむ、いずなぎのおかみつくしのひまかの立ち花のおどのあぎがはりに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときに、ありませる。払いどの狼たち、もろもろの間がごと積み返りよ。払いたまい清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。あまつ神、くにつ神、やお、よるずの神たちともにひこしめせと。かしこみもまおす。たがあまはりにかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すめみおやかむ。いずなぎのかみつくしのひまくの立ち花のおどのあおぎがはらに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときにあれませる。はらいどのおかみたち、 もろもろのまがごとつみかいりょう。払いたまい清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。あまつかみ、くにつかみ、やお。夜ずの神たちともに引こしめせと。かしこみかしこみも申す。かながらたまちやませ。かながらたまちやませ。かながらたまちやませ. All right, everyone. There you have it. How was it? I always like how trolls last like 2 seconds before I start. Then when it hits them, they're like, I gotta get out of here. It's been like that since I started this. They never stick around. Ever, ever. It's really funny. You're welcome. How was it, guys? What'd you experience? Rather. 13. Be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. I do one-on-one sessions. Anger came up. Good, 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 good. I talk about those emotions in my book, right? Good. Good, Kat. How was that, Nikki? Good. You're welcome. For someone who has spontaneous out of body experience, I would actually suggest my book for that, believe it or not. There is a correlation. So, um, I need to write a book about interacting with the astral. Good. Good, Nikki. Kept seeing cats. Do you have one, John? Maybe you need one. That's right. It's like that the first time sometimes, Kotochi. Like I did one before this and Nikki didn't feel anything. Sometimes it might come out later. It just depends. And it does build up over time. Wakarimashita. Mm. Good night, Unbrushed. Thank you for coming. Good, Emerald Brood. I'm here every day. Please um subscribe. You have yeah, I know you got the dog. They could be friends. This clear stagnation too. Yeah, just takes time. So it seems like we're addressing those lymph nodes first. Any questions? I have a little bit of an audience today, so I'll answer anyone's questions. Um, Earlier, I recommended The Republic by Plato. You could start there. It'll help you, rather than just being about out of body experiences, it will help you get a better perspective on it and start changing your thinking. Start changing your thinking about what it is and how it interacts with um, that ability, or the structure interacts with that ability. And John's cousin is the king. That's impressive. I did not expect that. And say my cousin's the king of England. That's some clout. Little over a year doing this purification, the difference in me is phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, it takes time, but yeah, it definitely. And you do it and you do the stuff yourself too, right? You do your own practice also. I haven't forgot. Is Robin Hood the king's cousin in the books? Or is he just some guy? I don't remember. I've seen the Kevin Costner Robin Hood, but that was a long time ago. And I've seen the Disney one. I don't think I've actually read the book. Yes, it helps eating condition, but that's a little different. I did that for myself. Well, in the book, I think he gets hanged in the end, so it's not a happy ending. So he didn't get anything because he got hanged. But yes, it helps with the eating addiction. Oh, I see. Is that in the book? Because I know Richard was the real king, and his little brother like took over when he was on his crusades or something. Anyway, I don't know. I don't why are we talking about Robin Hood? This has nothing to do with it. Any questions about the healing? What city am I in? I'm in Kawasaki. I am in Kawasaki. Come on, questions, guys. Must have something. I'm in a good mood today. I want to stick around. I'm always in a good mood. Do I recommend it in certain places? Like, how do you mean? Like places on your body or different locations? Because nature is the best. I've basically stopped drinking coffee too from this too. I just like stopped. I have like a little bit here, but it's like not an addiction anymore. I've like completely stopped. Yes, physical problems do show up too, due to spiritual problems. Absolutely, 100%. We address the spiritual bodies first before it starts going to the physical. Sometimes it's instantaneous. That's all right. Physical locations, yes, nature is the best. Do I give offerings? Yes, I do. To the kami, they're not necessary to the heavenly kami, but they are appreciated. It's like flies to honey. I don't have a kami dana set up here. However, I do that. And in nature, it's good to do a libation to nature spirits in that area, especially before you start doing your healing or meditations. Does that make sense? Like there are beings in those spaces. Yeah, peace and kidney disease. Okay. You want me to work on that a little bit, Nikki? Real quick? How would I start before? How so do you mean, sir? Hi, Donna. How can we stop multiple regressions? Are you doing the personal practice too, Hakuza, or just coming to this? I'll work on your kidney real quick. I just think coffee kind of came back up for me to as a transition to having normal sleeping hours for once in my life. So that's one thing that kind of fixed itself in the past couple weeks while dealing with my crisis, which isn't really a crisis. It's just going deeper. Yes, yes. Taking time in nature is always good, but you have to acknowledge and honor the nature spirits in that place before you do any work. Because a lot of them don't even realize that people can't perceive them. Many of them think that people just don't care, that you're in their space. Good, Nikki. That's a good thing. That's good. Just the libation, just like concentrating, putting your thoughts out there and doing the pouring. It's enough. I explain. I have a little bit about what to say in my book. Yeah, I am. Like I said, I've been working. This just wasn't what I expected it to be, which is fine. Which is fine. Yeah, Spidey is from coming in here. She sees stuff all the time now. They manifest even in pictures, and she's been sending them in the Discord. Some really cool stuff. So, Nikki, did you want me to work on your kidney real quick? What is it dragging about? That is a long answer. That could be a lot of things. Yeah, it works. It works. People have a different level of thickness than others. All right, here you go. Go ahead and relax, Nikki. You got to practice the stuff in the book, True Hakuzo. Okay, here you go, Nikki. To kami emi tamo kangon shin son ikendaken harai tamai kiyomi tamo. To kami emi tamo kangon shin son ikendaken harai tamai kiyomi tamo. Tama yori hime no mikoto mamari tamae sakie tamae. Tama yori hime no mikoto mamari tamae sakie tamae. Tama yori hime no mikoto mamari tamae sakie tamae. Tama yori hime no mikoto mamari tamae sakie tamae. Tama yori hime no mikoto mamari tamae sakie tamae. Tama yori hime no mikoto mamari tamae sakie tamae. So everyone else might be feeling some stuff too, but that's normal. Just focused on Nikki's kidneys. To kami emi tamo kangon shin soni kandaken harai tamai kiyomi tamo. To kami emi tamo kangon shin. Okay, how's that, Nikki? Dude, I just want to say, I think Animal's been coming for 7 or 8 months, and his English has gotten like so much better. So it's done that for him too. at first, at first, I don't think anyone really understood what he was saying, but now, like, you know, he blurts out all this great advice. It is really impressive. So this does a lot. Good. And how do you uh, allow to accept the acceptance? Well, I mean, practice. Like I said, I have a book with that. This is a supplement to your self practice. I mean, what do you do now, Kutochi? No, that's okay. I know there's a lag. Then fall down into your emotions and try to feel every emotion you can as full as it can be. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah, better advice than I can give, to be honest. Yeah. So there's so like typical um like Buddhist meditation or mindfulness isn't um although I mean it brings balance, but it's not meant to trigger mystical experience, although it can. Like this is sort of something else. So yeah, I mean I have a book that explains it. It's a little expensive, but people who have bought it have said it's worth it. If you do it for some time and you do it every day, you will get results. Has anybody been practicing what's in the book and doing it every day? Can you speak to that? How do you learn about the dragon? That is something that sounds like it will come through in time for you because I cannot necessarily speak to you about your experience. It is in the description and it is um, in the right here, Misogi no Michi, The Way of Purification by Benton Ryer. It's on Amazon. And I recommend it to everyone. Like, I have a much longer book, but I had to give people something so they could practice first. And because it is something that you practice for a year or two before you go on the next thing, um, it's like I had to get something out. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, language is like shyness and confidence is 80% of language acquisition. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. I'd like to keep hanging out with you guys, but we're coming on to 2 hours now. I'll stick around for 9 more minutes, and I gotta go. I got some schoolwork to do. Mhm. Any more questions, guys? Ooh, it's hot in here. I know I'm wearing a coat, but that's because the air conditioner gets so cold. Or a sweater. Questions, Chris? Does anyone have any questions about what I do, why I could do this, what's going on, the mechanics, shamanism? Come on. I want to. Yeah. So if you go to esotericshinto.com, I have a forum. I have a dream journal where you could communicate with each other. I will answer too. Have a good have a good day, John. Thank you. You're welcome, IG. Thank you for coming. I'll see you again. Can I tell you about shamanism? Well, I mean, it exists in every culture. Every culture. A lot of it is a lot of it is very similar, um, despite the part of the world it comes from. A lot of um, cultures that have a shamanistic aspect, um, they or we um, collaborate the same stuff. There's a lot to it. It's not just healing; it's also soul retrieval. It's also traversing different spaces. Um, there's a lot to it. It's not just one simple thing. It is definitely not having a get together and getting everyone high while you bang on a drum. That is like not it. I actually wouldn't. I actually wouldn't. How can I say it? Recommend. I mean, you can't. You're just kind of born with it. But the epitome of shamanism, I wouldn't really wish it on anyone. It can be quite. It can be quite. How can I say it? Um, um, Traumatic. It could be quite. Um, Turmoilistic. Because you don't completely, or you're not able to completely integrate into your own body. So not quite human, perhaps. Traumata, yeah, it could be definitely that. Like in a lot of indigenous cultures, when someone's identified as a shaman at a young age and the elders take them over, it's because they have a lot of seizures. I've never had seizures, luckily, but there's other stuff that I deal with, and I'm dealing with now. Um, Hence why I'm getting so much stronger with these. It's a little bit different. Friendship with spirits. I mean, it's not always friendship for sure. Law of one Crawley stuff. I hear that. Okay. Now, some kids with epilepsy have attachments, which I remove those. Epilepsies. Oh, does she? You might want to bring her to one of my sessions. It's not that difficult for me to clear up. So we can do it. And she may very well have extrasensory ability too. And it's important that, so what happens when people have the ability, um, let's describe it, they get a little bit lost outside of indigenous spaces. Yeah, they get a little lost. So they move in the wrong directions. To like places like Star Friends and things like that. That are not friends. Yeah, definitely bring her here. I could actually reintegrate or integrate her properly. There's some interesting parallels about how they work, but many people who do the Hapuno are very, very, very naive. What is a star? What is a star seed? Nothing, to be frank. It's a click. Dude, people who are not of this world in some way, like they can do stuff. If not, channeling and just talking isn't stuff. So I would even say that it's because of these people that it's very, very hard to be taken seriously doing this type of work, which may change, which is starting to change a little thanks to Charlie and um, his clinical trials. And he's starting to understand what he's able to do a little bit more too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's because of that why it's very, very difficult for this to be taken seriously by a bigger crowd. I was on a podcast, and for example, and the host was telling me that there was a guy from a shamanistic tradition in Korea who moved to the US because he wanted to bring his, practice to help people here, or I mean Japan, in the US. Um, and he thought that he was saying that the guy got rid of his dad's like cancer, and he was always very appreciative of it. But he was saying that when this guy got here, he thought people would be lined up all the way from down the street, and it just wasn't the case. And it's because of people like, channelers and people who claim that they get healed but are really just doing Reiki, which kind of um, has the spectrum of people just going like this, holding their hands out and saying, "Oh, I'm healing you," or "I'm healing people," and people that are doing more damage than good. And even if you don't believe they're not doing any damage, they are, because it is making people, which is the wider society, not taking what's actually possible seriously. So it's ultimately, yes, doing a lot of damage, because Charlie and I, well, Charlie has been a bit more, we're not accepted into being able to work in hospitals and helping the doctors with people who have ailments and things like that, which would be very, very effective. So, yeah. I mean, what do you think? And I think that is, whether rather than saying that, hey, Reiki is monsters, or don't do these other healers, I should probably frame it like that a little bit better. Even people in the spiritual community, they get so caught up with this stuff. They they think that that's the only thing that's possible, or they come here and they think, well, if I just keep doing this, I'll be able to do what Benton or Charlie does eventually. However, you can't, it doesn't work that way. Through practice you can get to that point, but if you don't have the natural ability and you weren't born with it, your energetic bodies have to build up, and you have to go through a certain type of transmutation that a lot of people can become quite uncomfortable with, to get to that point. It's not going to be easy. No, 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 no. On the contrary, it'll be the hardest thing that you can ever do. And it is not um, going to work within a weekend workshop and certifications. It's just not the case. Does that make sense, guys? They would lose business, absolutely. Channelers, yeah, you don't know what to think yet. I mean, there's not much to think. Read some books. Some hospitals, well, let me know which ones, Donna, and I'll go to them. No one, yeah. And Donna got excommunicated by her brother. I'm sorry, I shouldn't tell anyone that. Sorry, Donna. I should shut up. I mean, I'm not lying. I mean, it is. No, I'll shut up. Yes, they do. So, yeah, that's another issue, right? It's because of that and because of faith healers too. And the money they get from it, they, it stops people from taking this seriously, which is unfortunate because there are very, very good healers. It's just really um, far between. Like Charlie, when we were doing his app, I was talking to him to the whole thing because I did a lot of healings. He was very pleasantly surprised with who came out of the woodwork to do it because it's a blind test. He couldn't cheat. And I did very well. We did well. It's not finished yet. Um, and Yeah, there are a lot of shamans on there. I could feel the actual spirits working on me when I tried it from the other side. It's not it's not energy, but that's okay. It it's the threshold of effect that should be taking place. I actually have a video about my experience testing the app. You can check that out on my in my videos. Anything else, guys, you want to talk about before we take off? See, a lot of you are here. Thank you, Cynthia, for your donation. It's a pretty good day today. Let's talk about the mechanics of what I do. What do you want to know? About my mechanics, more about what you do? Oh my gosh. So, like many, like, let me, shoot, I've never told anyone this. Yeah, the app stopped working. That was just like a beta test to collect data and get the healers that he actually wants on it. A lot of people couldn't do it, but and he wanted to see if it was actually feasible that people could do it, and because he wasn't sure that other people could heal, and that's another thing. He had a TV show, and because he had a TV show, people would crawl out of the woodwork saying, "Hey, Charlie, I could heal just like you can," but they couldn't. but he was just bombarded with that. Just people just making these claims that just weren't true. So it stopped him from talking to people a long time. And he said, I know we've been talked a lot, and that's the reason he gave me. But yeah, you did good. Um, so yeah, there's that. Where was I? Mechanics of what I can do. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's Shinto, it's purification. It pulls out the the impurities out of the energetic bodies. I seem more peaceful now. Like many, and the reason for that is some acceptance. Like many shamanic traditions worldwide, everywhere. Female spirit in male body. Took a while for me to be okay with that, but it's female entity, male body. But yeah, there's that. Um, yeah, it creates this type of ability where yin and yang, um, yin and yang energy can be very strong. So, yeah, everyone went quiet. But yeah, that took a lot of it. That took a lot to kind of accept because there was fragments and a bunch of other stuff that I've had to deal with. Well, I mean, what else do you want to know? I mean, gets common in shamanship. Female entity, male body. It creates powerful um, ability when yin and yang, because it's together that way, where people are able to do this healing, and it's in my case, it's associated with the sun goddess. So it took a lot. And it's explained a lot too through my life. Oh yeah, if you study Nigong and Taoism and Fa Chi, so the whole purpose of that is to be able to start cultivating yin and yang energy together to create the elixir of life or immortality, so to speak. And with that, you're able to heal people and obtain a bunch of other abilities, but primarily for healing, as far as um, its purpose and clearing the channels for somebody else's body to heal properly too. Um, um, the whole exercise and purpose of it is to cultivate yin and yang together to open up those abilities. Whereas in my circumstance, and that being my actual nature, I was pre-born with that, and I was able to start doing the Norito and doing them right away, doing it right away as soon as I realized I could do it. Does that make sense? I don't even. I'm not even know. I don't know. I don't. I don't want to comment on religion. I wasn't there. Yeah, I'll let Spidey answer. So yeah, it was just basically accepting that, and it's been kind of tough because as I connect with myself better through like the physical body, that's the purpose of this purification, is to remove the impediments to you, for you to, in the physical world, to connect to your subtle bodies and soul. I had, like you said, I had a lot of, it's been tough. It's been tough. Of course, I've always known that, but it was always kind of like, okay, I'm female in spirit or entity and a male body, and I'm just gonna ignore that, and it just doesn't work. It didn't work eventually because it couldn't maintain itself that way, and yeah, there were circumstances where I've done some things where she left, and like, because there was a sort of a split, and because she left I couldn't move for a week. That was like really scary. I'm gonna make a video about this. I'm gonna make a video about this and explain it all. um, so she left for like a week because I had a fight, and it got to be pretty bloody, and she doesn't like violence. So I collapsed and I was in a coma. And these are easy fights. No, as an athlete, it wasn't difficult. But she didn't like it, and she left, and I was in like a waking coma for like a week. I couldn't move my body, and I'd be go back in and out of consciousness. It was very, very scary. She came back, but um, yeah, just that. And I've had to, for the past year or so, I've had to recollect fragments that were broken off. And there are parts of it where I couldn't really integrate because she was very, very skeptical to come back. And I've had to just do a lot of changes. So, yeah. And then there's like the things where I'm in a luminal state, where I'm lying down between, the sleep, and then I could see myself lying down, my hands, my everything, and it's very, very difficult to accept. But I completely have now, and I'm okay with it, much more so than I was 10 years ago. But yeah, so and there's the whole, yeah. I'll get I'll get into the next part in the video. All right. Any questions about any of that? I don't want to leave anyone with anything lingering. But so is base. So the healing is becoming stronger. Um, isn't anything special I've been doing, although perhaps it is. I'm not like visiting different power spots or finding special meditations or receiving new transmissions. It's that acceptance and connecting back with that has made these stronger, and has changed my kind of appearance, and removed a lot of the bad habits I've developed over the years, including my, you know, staying up all night. It's like I can't do it anymore. It's just like automatically on the proper schedule. Biting my nails a little bit, not much, but I did a little bit. I stopped. Like coffee is another one, like a bunch of stuff. I don't take any breaks. Don't take any breaks. I mean, like for fun, like video games sometimes. I watch movies, I draw, I paint, I write, um, I go jogging. I used to do lots and lots of martial arts, but I stopped. But that's that. But that's accepting that aspect of myself. I try to do what I can, but she just doesn't like them that much, and I've lost a lot of motivation to do those things, like the macho. I was at KO. So, yeah, I was attending KO University, and KO University is where judo started. It is the founding place that Jigoro Kano began teaching judo, and I was there and I got to practice. And I only did a few practices because I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with the macho anymore, and I couldn't deal with um, the force on my body anymore. And so I stopped going. But when I was like younger, I would be there like half the day. I would be because I was so suppressed. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm too connected with myself now to be able to enjoy a lot of that. So I'm trying to find something else exercise wise that I can, do before like that, before my whole spirit maybe perhaps completely takes over. Um, so yeah, I do jog. So yeah, I would so the fights were easy because and practice was always like, oh, this guy's gonna be like world champion. He's so good. Um, and it was always like that in practice. But some of the fights, the ones that would really have made a turning point in my career, and the person was able to just keep putting up resistance just because they were in shape. That's when like my soul was like, I'm out of here. And like I said, it happened twice. The second time was really bad, and I was winning, and but like it's just like there was a big. She vacated, and um, yeah, it was quite frightening. I thought I was gonna die. I did it all. I did it all. I did I did every single one of those. The only thing I couldn't do was get a boxing match because it would have been had to be stateside, and I had to pay too much for the license or else I would have boxed too. Yes, you can, Nikki, with practice. Yeah, it was. And yeah, yeah. So I'm happy to see. So yeah, little bit of a big reveal right there. I know I said I was going to leave soon, but I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're good. Yeah, like I couldn't move. I'd be laying there awake, and I'd be like, "Lift up your arm, lift up your arm, lift up your arm." Again, I couldn't do it. Like get up and walk. Like I made it outside like once, and I walked around, and I had to go back in, and I was just dead weight, and then again. I couldn't lift, and it was like 3 more days, like a whole week. I had to spend for that fight all the money I made in Bangkok for it. I had to, um, I had to spend it on the hotel because I couldn't leave. And um, credit to the promoter who was from, I think he was from somewhere in Scandinavia. He we did all the tests. We wanted to make sure that I was medically okay. Didn't find anything. But I knew what it was. Oh, I didn't quite know what it was. I knew that for some reason, like my life force, which I thought it was leaving. And yeah, it was sleep paralysis. It was like sleep paralysis, but it lasted a week. So if you can imagine having sleep paralysis for a week. So this is actually really difficult for me. It doesn't seem like it. Like I said, I've accepted it, but it's quite difficult for me to talk about. And I'm doing it now as I receive a new audience. And you know, Ame Terasa said, I can't really live incognito anymore. I can't hide it. So, and also too, during these healings, people have heard like a female voice. So there's also that. When people have said that, hey, I heard like a woman speaking, I just that's Ame Terasa, but it was me. They heard that from the astral, that part of me as they're doing the meditation. But a lot of people have heard that, so that's what that is. So I mean, I'm fine. I accepted it. I mean, I could have did a lot better in the matches, but like she just wasn't that part of me, which is basically me. Um, no, no, they haven't actually, Zara. Think, think, Jeebus. But no, they have not. So no, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to go there right now, but they haven't changed, and then they won't. And I've seen what these healings and what this ability can eventually do to. So I mean, it's like I just have to just keep going and not and just accept it. I'll do another video in time. How do you start astral projecting? You could actually start the Moreau Institute. You can actually do those recordings and practice every day, and they work. Why do you need astral project? Well, you don't. You don't. I mean, I could actually get by without it and just doing this, but it does have some purpose. You can do some stuff if you learn how to wield it properly. But that's a see. Listen to this guy's insight. He has a point. Most people do right, right. Learn magic. Learn how to use magic on the astral. Learn how to use the elements and purifying before you go to the astral and after. Okay, well, if you think it's your purpose, I mean, I can help you as much, but yeah, start with the Moreau Institute tapes. Learn perhaps basic elemental witchcraft, which teaches you kind of like about the elements, like spirit, like which is basically just practicing and um, um, visualizing those things and using them in the astral. And yeah, I'm just saying that because that's the most accessible information for English speakers. Like this Japanese stuff isn't that accessible. Even though I put it out, it's like you still have to like memorize the words and prayers. But because traditional witchcraft is more internal and visual, you can do it that way. No deal with the devil required. Yeah, yeah, the Moreau stuff is great for that. So, I mean, people have this idea that I'm just like slamming everyone. Like, there's a lot of people doing really good work, and I'm just trying to help people, navigate through that so they don't get bogged down with stuff that's not going to help them. Lightning is difficult. Yep, takes time, but you can do it. Like the lightning, yes, like the lightning. I mean, you just learn to deal with those things, Nikki. If you can't deal with them, then you can't deal with them because you don't know how to. They're not that, like, to get something like powerful enough to, stop you. Most of those things aren't interested in doing that first, and these other things just draw on your fear. Kind of like Monsters Inc. They feed off of it, and they're easy to deal with if you know how. So anyway, it's we're coming on 2 hours and 30 minutes. I enjoyed answering your questions. Please buy my book. Please donate. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I'm. I mean, guess I told you what I've been having to go through for the past so and so, but I've always had to deal with it. Because it was always there. But yeah, if I didn't make any changes, or if I didn't start making changes, like it would have, like that time where um, I almost died because that part of me or my soul left and came back. That would have been, it would have been permanent the next time, and because the apparatus could only work for so long. People have an idea that the body and spirit, other than being a container, doesn't correspond with each other. It has no relation, the container to the spirit. That's not the case, not at all. So, like diet, I mean, it's why there's fasting, right? So, like to summon your holy guardian angel through the book of Aberlin the Mage, it requires so many days of fasting. There's other traditions that require that too. There is a wonderful book about shamanism, indigenous shamanism, that explains how the indigenous shaman has to consume certain amounts of tobacco and swallow it as an offering to the spirits that the tradition that he talks about works with. That's another version. And there was something for me too. I'm not ready to talk about it, but it's working, and the healings are stronger, and I can help more people, and I need to get to the next point for this. This is not even this ability, and the sick people, and the people in pain that I have helped is just a fraction of where this is headed. So yeah. All right. Yeah, if you develop your abilities to the greatest extent that they could be developed, and you open your perception up wide enough, you will have an experience like that. You just have to deal with it. Not that hard. And after a while, some of the stuff that's really, really scary, it it just turns into it's it's kind of like it turns into this thing like, okay, this is ridiculous, go away. So it does have that effect. It becomes scary, then it turns into this thing where it's like, dude, leave me alone. So yeah. Oh, I'm gonna actually put that book as one of my reading lists because I do want people to read it. Purification trumps all. So yeah, um, that's kind of why I've been kind of back and forth lately, and why these are stronger. A lot of self acceptance. Yeah, I talked a lot today. I have a lot of people coming over from the Out of Body Stories podcast, and I just wanted to kind of share more today and talk a little bit more. People have questions. Um, so yeah, that was my near-death experience, um, and the reason for it, and why I've had to make these changes. Um, And also too, I might as well get into it a little bit more. I'm gonna make a video. There was this kid named I'm not gonna give his name, but he was very young, 16, 17 when I started with him. And he had already had his lower leg amputated. And his mother, she was into like spiritual stuff. And um, she wanted me. She asked if I could work on him because someone referred me to her, and she's like, "I know you could help my son. He's 16, very young. He was 16 when I tried to start, and he had cancer, and it just kept spreading and spreading. And finally, for his mother, he decided to do the session, and he wasn't gonna he was trying to avoid it because it was just more like stupid spiritual stuff that his mother did, and he didn't want anything to do with it, but he did it, and he felt a lot. And he got tested. He got checked again to see if the cancer spread that weekend, and for the first time ever since he was for like 14ish, it stopped spreading, and it went into a quick regression. And I told her and I told him I have to work on him more, so we until we get until so that trajectory keeps going and we're able to eventually get rid of it. But he convinced himself that he wanted to work with the doctors, and he didn't want to work with his mom's healer. Although after the session, he was good for some time. And he made it to his 18th birthday. He died the morning of his 18th birthday. And, that, really kind of messed me up because I've known for a while that I need to do some things um, for this to take the next step, or to be able to do what this can do. Um, but I didn't really want to, accept it, or um, take part in it because, I've always grown up kind of macho. I've always been around that type of environment. And because was always in that type of environment, you know, it had a lot of influence on me. I think it's kind of like as tough as it came, tough as it comes. But there were parts where I couldn't even feel my body doing it too. Because, like I said, my soul would leave, and I was known for that also. Um, and there's a certain amount of strength that comes from that line too, where, like I said, the fights were easy. But yeah, losing that kid, especially when it was taking so well, really kind of, you know, started that whole. um, that whole correspondence with, I need this needs to change. I need to get this stronger. And I've been trying every other way than, connecting with myself. I'm going to have to do it. And even so, even still, I repressed and repressed and repressed that, until, doing purifications and working, I couldn't anymore. Hence why these are getting stronger, like I said. So, yeah. Yeah, that. Oh, and when I say stronger, that's taking multiple sessions and condensing them to the one and for them to get going. So I should have already been at that point where I could have worked on that young man, once, and because of working on him once, it should have solved the problem altogether. But because I couldn't do that and I was too stubborn, I couldn't do it. Um, and that's just kind of something I have to do, something I have to live with. And yeah, yeah, and I actually thought his mother would, be upset with me, somehow. But she actually came to me after, and she was like, "Thank you so much because, his 18th birthday, he passed, but he made it. That's what he really wanted to do, and it's because of you we got more time with him. And but for me, that wasn't good enough, um, because I know I could have did more. So anyway, yeah, when I'm ready, I'll make a video and come out with it, um, in more detail. But that that news really sucked. That news sucked. No, it wasn't decided, because I could have got rid of it. So even if he, um, but that's the other part of it too. Even if somebody doesn't want it, I should still be able to do it, but I can't because, that whole thing that I just talked about. So yeah, it's the, I know not to be hard on myself, and I know what it is, but, you know, yeah, interview show, Out of Body Stories. It was a pretty good one. Please go to that show and comment after you watch it. Please use the comments, talk to people. There's a lot of people there saying this guy has an ego. That was, but some of us, as I started listening, I they changed their mind. But yeah, answer, listen. So yeah, that's what's been up with me, and that's kind of, what I've been kind of carrying around in my whole life, and why I've always kind of, been detached, or seemed detached from everyone, and why my interpersonal relationships have all become detached. It's because I haven't fully been at present, and yeah, you know why I wasn't, um, completely present now. And it's twofold. It's my own soul avoiding me and my activities, and also my refusal to accept that not just being a part of myself, that actually being who I am. So that sucks. You know, no, 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 Spidey, that is not my block. My block was something else. I think you're missing it. Oh yeah, for sure. The stuff I've been yeah. Oh yeah, Amaterasu told me I can't live incognito anymore. You're one with the sun. You know what to do. I'm like, oh man. So those are the messages from spirit that you get. They're very, very short. They don't follow up because you already know what they're going to say. They don't talk for 2 hours, which for some reason really upsets people when I say that. She told you that about me, Isaac? Or she told some of us the same thing? Because so there you go. Why waste words when you can have the same message for everyone? Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better. Yeah, I was actually there was I had a lot of fear. Yeah, just telling people that. And with that being said, it's going to be a very, very difficult year. It's going to be a very difficult year, and but um, everyone's going to get the benefit from that because these healings and the eventual, proof that everyone needs will come from that. So yeah. So if you want to hear the whole thing, you could go back after the second healing where I really start talking about it. I'm very, very happy um, to that everyone stuck around to listen, and they're not all freaked out over it. But I was told it won't matter, so because it'll get will get so strong, and really be able to build everyone up. Crazy, yeah, this is crazy. What's the riddle that I said before, where I asked everyone? Um, um, if if the wind is hot and the fire is cold, in which direction does a flag unfold? Do you know the answer, guys? No, I want everyone else to. I want other people to answer the question, Spidey. If the wind is hot and the fire is cold, in which direction does the flag unfold? That's not the answer. But it's a pretty good one. Anyone else? Anyone have the answer? If the wind is hot and the fire is cold, in which direction does the flag unfold? That's not the answer, John. Kind of, I should say, but it's not the one I'm looking for. Yeah, I've been talking. You could go back and listen. I said a lot. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so let's think of it again. All right. So nothing. Well, I mean, there's wind. It's just hot, and there's fire, and it's cold. So, in which direction does the flag unfold? The answer is in the direction contrary to our expectations. So, although I always knew. Mm-hmm. Spidey already had the answer. Because people don't necessarily expect wind to be hot, and they definitely don't expect fire to be cold. So that's where the clues to where the flag unfolds come from. I did, John. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. Um, like I said, I've been going through it a little bit, and I actually explain it. I explained it earlier before you came back. And I explained why the healings are stronger now too, and they have been for the past 4 weeks. That yes, that too, Isaac. It's been held up. It's been held up again, so I'm still getting that resistance too. Although, if you have no expectations, you'll never. Yeah, I've had none. Thank you, John. I really appreciate it. That's right. I don't think anyone's ever gotten that riddle correct, Nikki. So don't worry about it. I'm a philosophy major, so I guess I'm pretty good at thinking, or at least I try to be. But you can still train yourself. Yeah, a bunch of new subscribers. Check out the, like I said, check out the out of body. I posted it on my board or my YouTube blog thing. Um, yeah, and please go to the interview page and comment on that. Aliens, are you listening to the earlier conversation? Anything else, guys? One person on the the video we did or the interview said, I think you should vet your guest a little better. Feel free to comment on that. I was like, man, people are rough. He didn't even try the meditation. Ugh. Or the healing. Yeah, yes, no human is an alien, Spidey. Um, for now. Also, yeah, they're not human anymore. A lot of ancient deities, they used to be human. So, yeah. No, it was just some guy. It was a remote viewer I was working with, Isaac. He quit. It was too much for him, which I understand. They'll be rebuilt. They'll be rebuilt as they always have when calamity happens. Um, Yeah, there's definitely things going on, Isaac or John. Well, here's the thing, Isaac. There's some people are predisposed. They have abilities already, and if they can already do stuff, and I guide them in a certain direction, I could just tell them what to do, and they could do it. But they're not, because they already have abilities. They're not prepared to respond to that sort of awakening in which they realize that they could interact with everything that they see. Like a lot of people who are remote viewers, especially, they don't know that, believe it or not. She doesn't care. She's just, if she did, she'd say something. She, it doesn't seem, it seems to appear that these things are very important, but there needs to be more of a real change in the heart, because the kami need to interact with people that way rather than through shrine intermediaries. Yep. Yeah, like people who can just remote view and are just consider themselves absorbers and think that that's as far as it can go. Um, they don't get hit because, yeah. However, if you know better, you're going to get hit, and you have to purify. You can actually put up a shield between yourself. So yeah, please guys, please comment on that video because it helps on the algorithm. Um, I mean, I really would like to keep building this channel. Like I said, this next year is going to be very, very, very difficult, and I need all the help I can get, including with interaction and um, just your comments help with the algorithm and brings people to these healings. Yes, that's what people do here. That's what people do in Japan. They have manners. Even when just like for example in Japan, women can walk down the street and not be hit on at all because it's considered very, very rude to do that. There's no catcalling, there's no, if you can imagine people asking for your number every block. It depends. So yeah, it's it's great here. You know, people mind their own business. Um, as long as you don't cause disharmony, they won't complain. It's very, very nice, and which is why part of the reason why I want to stay, and part of the reason why being in a very densely packed, populated area, I don't take on anything from anyone. And you know, the kami and the shrines have a lot to do with that. Hence why there's this thing where a bunch of the temples and shrines are being burnt down by um, more easily influenced people. Yeah, there's some of that, Spidey, but the reason why it makes big news is because it's very rare. It's very, very rare. And if people noticed it happening, they would do something very quickly. And there's videos of that too. Yeah, drunk or got absolutely. The people doing that have some real problems. So, and like very rare and in between. Yeah, John, go back and listen to what I have to say too. I did. I talked about a lot, so I would like. I'm gonna make a video about it too when I'm ready. It might be a few months, but yeah, you guys know that about me now, and it's common. And I said this before, but it's very common in shamanic traditions around the world. It's not a new concept. So, but it's tough, especially when you have the dad I had, and that guy, that guy, he, he's something. Bye, Nikki. Thank you so much. Oh no, he wasn't a deadbeat. He was just himself. He's just very mean, very mean, and his although he's better now that he's older, but it's still what it. Yeah, he could still have his moments, but he's changed a lot. I mean, he's lived so long because I mean he's been around me. It has that effect on people. He's 88 and he doesn't even need eyeglasses to read, which is crazy, right? And he plays golf on the weekends. I think he does once a month now, once or twice a month. And He's like, last time I talked to him, he's like, I'm just had this realization lately that the road that the road behind me is a lot longer than the road ahead. Yeah. No, I've already dealt with that a lot. But yeah, sure. I'm just talking about him. So, all right, everyone, I'm gonna take off now. Everyone's getting a little tired of this. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, right, Spidey? Maybe because of you. I'll see you all later.